Hello everyone, this is Etho. I have a much anticipated tutorial for you guys today. I'm going to teach you how to build my new EMP unit, which is what you see in front of you. EMP unit stands for Etho's Mob Processor Unit, and it's a device that allows you to kill mobs and collect their loot with many different options and features and functions, compressed into a relatively small space. It's about, well, the wiring behind this faceplate is about 3 blocks wide by 5 blocks and several blocks tall. It mostly uses pistons to control the different options, and you can set it up however you want. This is just a guideline of how you can build one of these things. You can choose whatever options you want though, wire it many different ways if you choose. It's up to you. So first we're going to begin with a quick demonstration and explanation of the different options my EMP unit has, and then we will build the unit from scratch, and then finally I will explain the minor tweaks you need to do to it to get it to work with the specific types of mobs. Right now I'm in my LP world. I have a backup though, this won't be here permanently. And I have it hooked to my hostile mob system. They go up, left, and then fall into the EMP unit. And with these things you can either mix all your mobs together, or something I plan on doing in my new ice base is separating whatever mobs I can into individual EMP units and then controlling them that way. Since we have all these mobs here, maybe let's start this demonstration with a logout safety test. You'll see none of the mobs have gotten free from their holding area, so it seems to be pretty safe. If you log out, you won't have mobs all over your world. And when you come back, they are all standing still, they're not jumping around. If you want them to jump around again, give them a taste of water, and they get going again. One of the options for the EMP unit is the crusher, which is controlled by this lever here. This causes the mobs to suffocate, so it's one way of killing them. Causes this block to pop out, so that's in their head space. And then retract it and mobs can fall down again. The lower lever on the right here opens this bottom barrier, and the one on the top here opens this top barrier. In my original EMP I had the two barriers connected. It made sense to me though to separate them. This gives you easier control. You can have just the bottom one up or just the top one down. You can have them both together, or you can have them both apart. When the barrier is closed, you can safely pick up any loot that drops simply by walking up to it. And also, you can have it automatically collect to a collection point if you have water flowing. This one controls the water, this middle lever here on the left, and you can see the drops slowly flowing out, and you can make them join together in a main collection stream if you wish. There's also a trap door here, which you can cause the mobs to automatically die with. They fall in lava. And this also works for any loot you don't want. So if you have a big pile of loot you don't want to collect, and you don't want it lagging your world, you can just incinerate it as well. An important feature of this water function is it's another way of killing mobs by drowning them. It will automatically kill any mob that falls into your EMP unit, and any that are already in it. Although this takes a little bit of time, drowning is not the fastest way of killing mobs. And you can see their loot collecting over here. Any mobs that fall in will also drown automatically. And if you want the loot to automatically collect to a main stream, you can have this bottom barrier down, and the mobs will automatically drown and their loot will go wherever you want it to go. Although this only works with tall mobs, which includes creepers, skeletons, zombies, sheep, and cows. Other mobs this will not work. Also, squid do not drown, so this is not a way of killing squid. Another method of killing mobs in an EMP unit is a method .m77 popularized as the mobcorn method, which is if you have a creeper and or a skeleton in your unit, you can cause all the mobs to die by having the creeper explode. But of course you'll want water so that the creepers don't blow up your EMP unit or mobcorn machine. Oops. There. Skeletons will shoot at you, hopefully they'll hit a creeper and then explode. You can also do it by walking up to a creeper and backing off, but you'll probably take some damage. And finally, this top left lever here activates a fryer. You can see there's nothing there right now. You flick it. Lava comes out. And this causes mobs to automatically burn as they come down. This does have a few problems though. For tall mobs, since they're 2 blocks high, there's only about 2/3 of them will fall through, and 1/3 of them, like that creeper there, will get stuck swimming in the lava. For shorter mobs like pigs and that, you don't have nearly as big of a problem because they're inside the lava block for a shorter time. And basically the mobs will burn and drop their loot here. If you drop pigs through, they will produce roasted pork chops, which is good, or fried pork chops, whatever. You cannot combine this feature with water. The water will put the mobs out. Another option you may consider adding to your EMP unit is a cookhouse feature. Depending on your setup, you may or may not want this. So for example, I have creepers, zombies, and skeletons in here. If I just want creepers only, I could run a wire to a lever all the way up to this piston. It's directly above the mobs, and directly above that is sunlight. So if this retracts, sunlight is exposed to them. You can hear them burning. And all the zombies and skeletons will be killed automatically during the day, and you'll have nothing but creepers left. So if you have any use for that, that's another thing you can add to your EMP unit. So as you have seen, the EMP unit is a pretty cool device. It has many useful options for handling mobs, and their loot, and you can combine these in different ways to create new type of effects. So again, this is just a guideline of how you could build your own. Of course, you can vary it quite a bit and add new options if you want, or get rid of ones you don't need. You know, you can be creative with it. If you want an example of some ways to use it, I encourage you to watch my LP series. I will be building quite a few of these things and hooking them all together in kind of a weird way is the plan. And if you're wondering about where these mobs are coming from, I have a mob system down below. I'll link a tutorial in the video description on how to build my mob system if you want to build one of your own. But anyway, enough of the demonstration. Let's see how to build this thing. Alright, we're ready to get started here. These are the materials I've brought with me. You'll need, I believe, 5 sticky pistons and 2 regular ones. You'll need 2 lava buckets, some water buckets, glass, levers, signs, your tools. You'll need some torches and repeaters and about a stack of redstone. And it's good to bring soil, ladders, and torches with you, of course, and wood. And I like to use glowstone for that plus sign thing, but that's not required. Okay, so the first thing I do is I build the faceplate. What you do is make like a C here, and another one reversed over here, like that. Place our windows there. Our barrier, our lower one, goes here. Dig down 2, place a piston facing up, and a glass block over that. And then let's do the top one as well. 2, 3, 4. I think you gotta put 5 blocks. And put the sticky piston underneath that 5th block. You can get rid of the top block then. And place your glass block below. Like that. And place your levers. 3 on each side. I like how that looks. And place your facing up there. And I like to put 3 blocks in front here as well, just to hide that piston. And it has a nice look to it. In my demonstration one, I also had glass blocks in front here, like that. You only need those if you have skeletons in your EMP unit, because they can see you through this sticky piston when it's down. So if you don't have skeletons, you don't need these. And these windows here are just so that you can see what's inside the unit from an angle like this. If they're solid blocks, you wouldn't be able to see them. You can also use fences here, and it kind of looks better in my opinion. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do. Next, we're going to place down the rest of our sticky pistons for our trapdoor and our crusher. And we place those 1, 2, 3. The 3rd block in from this glass block. And we place the sticky pistons on their side like that, one on top of each other. And now I'm going to wire this lever here to our lower barrier. Do that by digging down 2 blocks from our barrier. Just like this. And make a way for you to get out. And so the levers here, we're going to place wire directly below. And we're going to place a redstone torch here. That's just to invert the signal so that our lever is up by default to match the other 5 levers, so it looks good. And then we're just going to wire 2 our piston here. Just like this, it will constantly burn out, but once you cover it up, it doesn't do that. Cover it up like that. Leave this one open though. And we now can control our bottom barrier with this lever. Okay, now we're going to wire this middle lever here, which controls the crusher. And we're going to place one block here, here, and here. Just like that. And wire goes to these two pistons. So this wire will activate the lower one because it's level with the piston here, and it will also activate this one because it's pointing at it. So it moves both of them. I'll show you some other modifications. You can do this later. But let's continue on here. We're going to wire this lever next to our top barrier. Make a little stairway. You're going to place wire directly above the block. Oops, that's our crusher. There. And then we will put a redstone torch here to invert the signal. But you can see this lever doesn't control the torch. So in order to get it to do that, we need to place another wire over here. And now the torch turns on and off like we want it to. And we'll place a block above our top barrier piston and another wire from this torch to it. And now we can control the top barrier with this lever. Just like that, we have one side of our EMP unit completely wired. So let's start on our next side. Wiring is actually pretty simple for this thing. So we need to hook this lower lever here to our lower sticky piston, the crusher. The one you can't see, that one there. And to do that, we're just going to hollow out over here. And we're going to place a wire directly below this lever here. Just like that. Then there's going to be a block here. Redstone torch to invert the signal so that our levers match. And then finally a wire pointing toward our trapdoor piston. Just like that. Oh, and be careful when doing this because you might move your glass block. Okay. Now it retracts. So we're going to go ahead and make that a sandstone block so it matches. And also around here just so it looks good. And we're going to go down deeper. And deeper. Make it all sandstone, looking nice. Get out of here. Okay, and this is where our lava goes, down here. But we're going to place a sign above it, so this second block down, so that when our water is flowing, if this door is open, the water won't flow into the lava and turn it into obsidian. And finally place your lava. Close it. Good. So this is all wired, this bottom one. At this point here, I like to put up my glowstone plus sign thing. Again, this is not required, but I think it looks really good. And it lights up the area nicely so you can easily see the mobs. Just like that. And next we're going to wire our lever over here to our drowning system. This is probably the most difficult thing to do. But above your top sticky piston, put a stone block, temporary soil block there, going around, And the water is going to go where the soil block is. Place one there, and one there. Just like that. Water goes there. But before we place that, we're going to get our piston ready. So I got this 3 blocks up there. And we're just going to use a regular piston for this. Place it facing down, so it'll close off that hole. Also, before you place your water, it's smart to drill a hole close to your EMP unit so that when the water flows out, it won't destroy your levers here and possibly your wiring in the back. Okay, so I'm going to place the water just like that. And now we're going to set up our wire for it. To do the wire, we do it just like we did the other side. We start it right here, the wire right there. The lever controls this wire. And we're going to make like a little staircase thing. Go out one more, so 3 blocks. And then it's going to go over here. And one more. And then we place a redstone torch right here. And that activates the piston. So now we can control our drowning system and auto loot collection. And finally, the last thing we need to wire is our fryer to this top left lever. This is pretty easy to do. Place a redstone torch directly above that block. So the lever controls the torch. You can use this wire here as a staircase to get up. Place a block directly above this. And block here, and then the piston goes facing up here. So the torch power passes into the sandstone block and then gets directed toward this piston. And directly above here is where the lava is going to go. So place the soil block there temporarily. Stone blocks around it. Oops. That we can get rid of this from before. Oh man, I need practice. There, just like that. So our lava goes there, but before we place that, let's finish building this up. This, and we'll need to place a sign here to prevent the lava from spilling down. So right on that piston there. And let's place our lava over there, and then I like to cover it up just so I don't walk into it. And that's it. Your EMP unit should be about done. Lava flows out and stays there. Nice. So from your mob system, this is where you will drop your mobs into the EMP units. You'll have a tube going out the top of the EMP unit here, and the mobs will fall down. Another option is to use water there instead of lava, and then you can have an optional water break on or off using the piston in case you want to kill the mobs using gravity. So that's another option you might consider. One other thing I kind of recommend is placing chests here. Just so you have a quick and easy place to store loot that you get from killing the mobs that's nearby. Well, that concludes the construction part of this tutorial. Remember, you can place blocks up here to make it look pretty, make it look even. A nice thing about this design is you can also place signs here if you wish. That's one problem a lot of people have with my EMP unit, is remembering what lever does what, so you can mark them if you want. Another nice thing about this design, if skeleton behavior changes so that they can shoot through corners, I don't know if that's ever going to be an issue, but like if they can see you through this corner, you'll also be able to place glass blocks here and cover up the whole thing if it's an issue, but you shouldn't need to do that. And also keep in mind the maximum distance your hole for the water to flow to should be, falls down there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th block is the absolute furthest it should be. Otherwise water will just spread everywhere. Okay, so now that did the demonstration and building it from scratch, let's consider a few things about dealing with each of the specific type of mobs. So let's consider the crusher first. With this current setup, with both of these blocks coming out at the same time, it'll crush the mobs, they'll suffocate, but it won't work perfectly. It's unlikely it will, because the mobs will be able to jump up and land on this first block, and they probably won't suffocate if they do that. So, having it like this is for general use. If you have tall mobs in here, so creepers, skeletons, zombies, sheep, and cows, if that's what's going in here, you only want this middle block to come out. So, to modify this or tweak it so that it works for them, it's very simple. Just remove this middle sticky piston, and that's all you need to do. Now only the middle block comes out, and they will suffocate from that, like you saw in my example demonstration for this tutorial. Now let's put this back. Oops. There we go. Okay, now for small mobs, so chickens, pigs, wolves, that kind of thing, anything under 1 block in height, we can modify this or tweak it in another way that'll work good. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this wire and this block. We're going to make it run up 1 block like that, and then down here. And we'll place a repeater, set it to 4, and another wire. So this piston will get activated first, and then this one 4 torches later. So it'll be like this. And that's good because once this top one comes out, they won't be able to jump, and then the second one below it will squish them. So that'll work good for smaller mobs. If you want to connect many EMP units together, you can use master wires and connect in the back. If you watched episode 80 of my LP series, you'd know what I'm talking about. So you can connect in the back anywhere where there's an unpowered wire. So for example, this is unpowered. I could connect my master wire right here and trigger the crusher from over there as well as in the front here. You can also connect anywhere where there's a torch. So for example here, torch is over there. I can activate the fryer in a second place, such as this. So anywhere there's an unpowered wire or the torch, you can switch the state, but you won't be able to connect where the wire is powered like that. Well, this concludes my EMP unit tutorial, or Etho's mob processor unit. I hope it's been useful for you, and I hope you enjoy building these in your world. They're very handy for dealing with mobs. Kind of replaces the Sizzler. If you want more information on how to use these things, I encourage you to watch my LP series. I'm dealing with them right now. At around episode 79 I started. So you can watch me using them in an actual world and setting up a mob system with them. Also, one thing I didn't cover in this tutorial is how to make one for spiders. Again, you will probably see this in my LP world. I haven't experimented with it yet. Also, people often send this to me as a video response, so check the video responses for this tutorial. I'm sure I'll get a few for spiders, and also I have already approved a bunch of them for I think between episodes 77 and 80 so far in my LP series. There's some video tutorials showing you how to deal with spiders. So anyway, that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked this, and I will see you again next time. If you plan on using the mobcorn killing method often, or if you want to help automate loot collection for smaller mobs, you'll want to place a water block here. And then it'll be much easier to get the skeletons to hit the creepers. Oh crap. Yeah, don't do that. That was a mistake.